So we've been talking the last few days about this mission into Iran and what this all means as far as what it means politically, what it means internationally. Well, there was some reporting out today out of the New York Times talking about how on Saturday there was a mission involving some B-2 bombers that left flying west from an airbase in Missouri, and they were headed toward Guam. Now, a lot of people thought that that was doing something in preparation of an attack on Iran, or it had something to do with it. Turns out it was a distraction, but it wasn't necessarily a distraction for Iran. Apparently, this whole thing was cooked up by somebody at the Pentagon as a distraction for Donald Trump. That apparently this mission was what he was told was the actual mission, was that they were flying west to Guam, then on to the Middle East. And they wanted to see how he was going to handle it and how he was going to spread things on social media. They were afraid that he was going to take to social media and ruin everything. Now, why would they be worried about that? Well, in the last several weeks, as this whole thing has been building with Israel and Iran, he's made a couple of threats against Tehran, saying everyone should evacuate. People took it seriously. They evacuated. Nothing happened. Then he said, well, I've got something coming. I left the G7 to work on something bigger. It's coming. Be prepared. Those kind of things. So they were afraid he was going to give away the farm and tell them that, the bombers were incoming. So what does this mean now? This means it sounds like the Pentagon didn't trust Donald Trump with accurate information about what they were actually doing. The commander-in-chief could not be trusted to be given accurate information and not share it or tweet about it or put it out on social media in some way. So they had to keep it secret from him and devise this fake mission because they didn't want to compromise the real one. That's very scary. Who's actually running this administration? If this had come out during the Biden administration and the Pentagon did this with Joe Biden, we'd hear about it for months about how impaired Joe Biden was. We're still hearing about how impaired they think Joe Biden was, almost 6 months into the Donald Trump's term. And as we're looking at it, it begs a lot of questions. We got to look at things, figure out who's actually in charge, how is this going. But they didn't trust Donald Trump with the real information, and that should tell you everything you need to know.